So we have a match coming up here in Saskatchewan called the Cypress Showdown. Dave Gheriani and myself, we decided we wanted to go and travel out to Saskatchewan for it and you know, test our skills in some of the usually harder winds you can see here in Canada. And you know, to make sure we get as far as we can, we're going to get together and do some training here a week or two before and you know, push each other as hard as we can. What do you want to do for drills, man?
Let's do from standing 2 rounds, 12 seconds, each target at, like 1 on each target at the close target.
Sounds good.
And then we can do another 12 after that, because we'll just break position from there, drop 1 down and go to the next target.
Okay.
Oh, bad pull.
How about we do it this way? We'll call a target.
That makes sense. Yeah. Just call a target and you got to just adapt to it on the fly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Target 3. Impact. 9.78. So stay in that position and then change positions on the beep.
Okay, ready.
Target 1. Low. 4.
Oh, that's a good hit on the scope.
Good thing those things are durable. Impact. On the buzzer, 11:49.
Okay, so you're gonna run this 40-second part time, empty mag with a mag change. Impact. Impact.
Ah.
Just off the right edge.
Yeah. I heard the beep and squeezed it off prematurely.
We're heading down, we're catching a flight out of Vancouver here and flying into Saskatoon, so we gotta catch our flight around 9:30. We're gonna be meeting up with Dave Gheriani at the airport here, and should be good.
So we just got off the plane, got a cab to the car rental place, and loaded up our rental Jeep, and we're about to hit the road for, what is it, 4-ish, 5 hours? To drive to the match location and get the gun zeroed, or check zero at least. Get ready for tomorrow.
Check quick zero, check speed. Then we ran out to like 770.
770.
Yeah, we were both of us were water lined and making good wind calls as well. So we're feeling pretty good. Both of us got quite a bit of practice in. Had that practice last week, which was good. Yeah, I think we're going to be shooting into these hills like this. So hopefully he hasn't skylined everything, I would imagine. So you should have some impact area behind, which will be good. You should be able to pick up on that. No idea on how much positional he's going to have or how much prone he's going to have. And yeah, I just figure on probably decent winds, and we got a solid squad of guys to shoot with, so I know we're going to have a good time. And yeah, just stay focused and shoot well and do well.
Yeah.
stage 4 here. We're going to be shooting 3 at the duck and then 3 at a T-Rex at around, I think it's 500 and 600 yards. And then transition over onto the other side and do the same thing again. So it should be a fun stage. A bit of a challenge here because you got to shoot down the roof. So
I was thinking the little one, but I don't know if that'd be enough to you know, cup it up under. I think that's solid, but I don't know.
Impact.
What's that? Just the left end.
Impact. 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 Impact.
I was still getting a little bit of sticky bolt lift on those.
Where are you?
Yeah, I don't know. It must just be like the brass must just be swelling at some point.
Yeah, or maybe you didn't size it properly, or like.
They did it the exact same as they do everything, so I don't know.
I don't know. Like maybe a carb. I don't know. Nicely.
What?
No part of the fire. It could be a wind flag. Put a little wheel on it.
Impact.
yeah, so just shot the stage 4 here. It was a little bit awkward being shooting down the length of the roof. So you had to shoot the 2 targets, 3 rounds each, and then transition to the other side, do the same thing. I ended up shooting it weak side on the right hand side of the roof. Worked out pretty good for me. Ended up dropping 3 rounds. One was did get a great sight picture, and the other 2 were a bit of wind.
Impact.
So it's overall good stage. I think it's a pretty good score for this stage. So, okay. Stand by.
Oh-ho. So normally I have like a pre-stage checklist whereby I make sure that both my dope is dialed on, my magnification is set, my parallax is set, and my scope caps are open. And this time I forgot to open my scope cap and I forgot to dial on my dope, which resulted in burning a little bit of time, which wasn't a big deal, but more importantly I dropped my first shot because it impacted exactly where it was supposed to go with no dope dialed on. Right at the bottom of the T-post. At least I corrected and had a decent stage after that, but yeah, that was a dumb mental mistake, and I strive not to make those. Is what it is.
Okay, so just at stage 8, we had just 3 targets, 3 rounds on each at 3 different positions off a set of logs. The kind of funny thing about this one was they went from a large target to a very small Sasquatch target. There was a mil wide at like, I guess around 800 yards, so it was a pretty tough target to hit.
Sasquatch, I could have helped him better. I wonder why.
Impact! Impact! Impact!
But I was slightly like a 10th left, and then I think I wobbled into the center. And so, there's no real good reason for what I do.
And also, Impact! Impact! Oh. I thought it was going in.
I know. It's kind of getting a rhythm.
Yeah. Just off that.
You can tell in the video, Ryan's the plumber.
So I got dropped 3 points on this one, so 2 on the Sasquatch and 1 on the middle one. Other than that, it's a pretty good stage, so overall happy with that. So, yep.
Yeah, overall it was a fun day of shooting. I'd be much happier if I had about an extra 8 to 10 points on my score, but
Wouldn't we all?
I know, exactly. Exactly. But yeah, overall good stage. Great group of guys we're shooting with in our squad. Like solid squad. Like worked really well together, and some really good shooting. Now we're gonna go grab some dinner and relax and have a couple beers.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we just finished up dinner there, smashed some pizza down and a couple beers to go with it, and had a good chat, catching up with all the guys from Saskatchewan, Manitoba, and a couple guys from Alberta there too, and always the best part of the match is catching up with the good buddies here. Gonna go get packed up for tomorrow morning and make sure we burn it down. So it should be a good day tomorrow, and yeah, we're really looking forward to it.
Okay, so we're starting on stage 14 here. Going to be shooting offhand at a full-size IPSC, and then going to a kneeling position at a diamond, and then a rabbit in a seated position. And then we're going to be moving on to a few more stages down this way, and then circle back around. And we got 6 full stages to do today. Should be a good day of shooting. Pretty calm winds right now. Looking like it's going to be up to around 10 or 15 mile-an-hour winds, so it should be get pretty sporty again today. So it's going to be a good challenge for some of these smaller targets. Got a solid squad of guys here to shoot with, and it should be a good time.
Get back!
Yeah, so the last stage didn't exactly go great for me. For one, shooting off the strap, I didn't realize that the best approach was to have, using a tripod as rear support, was to have the end of your chassis, your stock on the strap versus being balanced in your kind of balance point, because you have just a bigger lever and it takes longer for that wobble to settle down. But anyways, I got 2 out of 3 hits on the first one, went prone, 3 hits, went back, and I'm not sure how I managed to do that, but I had a mag that was only half loaded. So I had to drop mag, change mags, and then I got 1 more round off before timing out, and it was just because it was taking so long for that wobble to settle. So if I had a redo, I would definitely A, have a full mag, and B, have just be using not even a support bag on the strap, just have the end of the rifle on it basically.
It takes so long for that to stabilize. I know. And then you time out.
Get back! Get back! Back. Back.
It's actually a pretty good stage for me. I dropped 1 point on it, and it was my own mistake. I shanked the shot on the closer target, so we had to shoot a diamond off a strap. Used some rear support and pulled down and back to help settle the bounce there a little faster, and was able to move pretty quick on the whole thing. Dropped 1 on the back because the wind call was a little too aggressive, but overall happy with that stage. With dropping 2 points because it was pretty challenging with the distances we were working with.
So the last stage was 3 T-posts, 1 straight, 1 like double crossed one, and 1 on a mean angle. And I elected to use tripod rear support, which I thought would be a good idea, but it turns out it wasn't, because the things on top of the T-posts were very slippery and my rifle actually slipped right off. So then I abandoned the tripod rear and then just ran the rest of the stage just with a bag, and it actually went pretty decent. I dropped 2, but considering that it could have been an entire, a disaster, dropping 2 on a 9-round stage is acceptable.
Impact! Impact! Impact!
Okay, so we just finished up shooting stage 11 off some T-posts. I like shooting off most T-posts. They're wobbly as heck, so we got 2 wobbly ones, and the middle one was okay for position. Shooting at a pretty generous target at 300 yards or so. Overall, I was happy with how it went. Dropped 2 points out of the 9 we could get, so I'm good with that for the positioning we had to work with. So.
All right, so that's the end of the match. It was a super fun match, a great squad. Shot some good stages today, some less good stages, but now we're all wrapping it up, and we're gonna go and see how everybody finished, and yeah, do the prize ceremony and all that jazz, and then it's back to the airport for us.
We just finished up the match here. The Cypress Showdown was a great match here. Some beautiful rolling hills here that we were able to shoot into. Made for a great location, some challenging winds, going through some of these valleys and stuff like that.
Definitely challenging winds.
Yeah, 100%. Some good updrafts on some of the targets like that. You had to pay attention to where your impacts were going. Most misses you were able to see. It was great that way. Solid 16 stages here we shot over the 2 days. It was a great time. We had a fantastic squad of guys. Probably one of the funnest squads I've shot with in a long time. All good friends. All worked hard together, and we tried to shoot as good as we could. Overall, I'm fairly happy with how I placed. I wanted to be up in the top 10, top 5. I ended up at 15th place overall. Gained some good ground from day 1 to day 2. Made some good wind calls, and some, overall happy with how everything went. Gunshot like a house on fire. And obviously, shooting the ACC now. This is the second 2-day match I've shot with the ACC, and yeah, just fantastic chassis. Way it balances, the way it recoils. This does a great job overall. But yeah, I think I'm happy with that we made the trip out here. It was definitely worth it, and it was good to get out and shoot with the guys here from the West. So overall, yeah, solid match. Dave did well too, and yeah, it was good.
Yeah, I had made more mental mistakes in the past 2 days than I like to allow myself to make, and that certainly cost me. I was definitely gunning for a top 3 and ended up in 7th. It was just real respectable finish considering the shooters that were here. There's a lot of good shooters, and a lot of guys worked really hard, and definitely really challenging conditions. Yeah, definitely a few things that I need to get back. I need to get back in the flow of shooting matches as opposed to just shooting.
Well, there really hasn't been many matches to shoot.
That's kind of been the case, right?
Yeah.
So you're just not current. You're proficient but not current, and then and yeah. But honestly, it was a really cool match. I really liked the course of fire. It's a really beautiful spot in the terrain. It's just cool, rolling foothills and Badlands and stuff. And like Ryan was saying, guys we're shooting with are all buddies. I've all shot with a bunch of them, a bunch of times, and just yeah, good company, great shooters, and made for a really fun weekend. And Colton did a great job of running the match, and everything went smoothly. There's no target failures that I can think of. Nope. So I mean, that's a great plug for Prairie Precision Steel. That's for sure. And I'm pumped we came out. It was a bunch of traveling for us, but we love shooting matches, and
traveling's a lot of fun too.
It is.
Going out for dinner with the guys and stuff like that, hanging out, grabbing some beers. It's all part of it too, right? So we had a great time overall, and yeah, I think we're gonna pack up now and head back into Saskatoon.
Pleasure. Nice, man.
Absolutely.
You got big mitts.
Yeah,
All right, we'll talk soon.
absolutely.
Cheers, man. Safe driving, have fun.